Can we talk about the difference between customer service complaints and customer experience discussions? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on Plannerzoid. So on today's Planner Tea, we are going to talk about our favorite beloved brand that we always love to talk about, because anytime I do this one, that's when y'all really be tuning in, because you know, cloth and paper is very much so well known in the stationery community, okay? But at times they have done some questionable things that have upset, you know, some of their customer base. Some, it might be rightfully so. Some, I don't know. So let's read and see what they got to talk about. Thank you to the Zoidie that sent me this, because she was like, girl, you need to read this before they delete it, because, you know, Cloth and Paper do have a whole thing about deleting their posts and locking posts. And yeah, I missed the last one, but not this one. We got this one, y'all. So can we talk about the difference between customer service complaints and customer experience discussions? Now, in a previous video, I have talked about this before. It was a while back, but I've talked about this before. People have made these complaints about the fact that someone just wants to point out something going on or share their opinion, and it might be a little bit, you know, negative, and it will get deleted or it'll get muted, or, you know, it'll be an issue with it from the brand side of things. So it looks like it's another one of these posts. I understand that the rules say customer service matters should go through support, and I agree that account-specific issues probably can't be resolved on Reddit. But I do think there's a difference between asking Reddit to solve an order issue and sharing a customer experience for community discussion. It's concerning that a post discussing a former misprint with photos was not only locked but deleted. That post could have been helpful to others experiencing the same thing. If someone is posting order numbers, demanding support, or trying to use the sub as a help desk, then sure, remove it. But if someone is calmly describing what happened, especially after contacting customer service, that feels relevant to the community. Product quality, shipping experiences, subscription issues, and support experiences all affect whether people want to shop with the brand. When negative experiences are removed entirely instead of simply redirected or moderated for privacy, civility, the sub starts to feel less of a community and more like a curated brand page. A better rule would allow simple customer experience posts while still requiring account-specific help to go through customer service. To be clear, this post is not customer service request. I'm not asking the subreddit to solve an individual issue. I'm asking whether civil customer experience discussions, specifically regarding cloth and paper, are allowed here, because they feel like a community issue rather than a support issue. You know, honestly, to me, that's pretty valid, you know, but honestly, because I didn't do a lot of research, I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I don't really shop this brand like that. Nothing against it. I think they have cute stuff. They're just not my style of stuff. So I don't really shop this brand like that, but a lot of my Zoidies do, right? So I do feel like what they're saying is valid, but it also makes me question, and maybe I should go try to glance and look at the rules maybe. Is their page a curated brand page? Is it, you can't post anything like this there? Because if so, maybe it should be stated or something so that it's more clear and people aren't just feeling like when they express something that it's just getting invalidated or overlooked, right? Not sure what happened with the former post, but I agree with OP. They do not work on their overall communication with customers when issues arise. They seem very beholden to their social media schedule, which is great, but it can leave a customer feeling like their issue isn't really taken seriously. I was frustrated all month about my intention box. It's my first subscription, and dealing with the delay definitely put a damper on it. I'm glad I was able to come to Reddit and get clearer answers from other subscribers, because you would be hard pressed to find any info on IG. They will prompt with posting which blank did you get from the box, while knowing many people haven't received it yet. I think a lot of us have reasonable criticisms and are being gracious because it is a small business. That said, no matter the size of the business, communicating with customers in a good way is paramount. You know what's funny? When I mentioned that in like an old video, someone was like, they're not a small business. So I don't know what they are at this point. I know they're not the biggest business, but they're not the smallest business either. They're very well known within the planner community. A lot of people shop cloth and paper. They're pretty big, right? I also want to point out this Forma thing. So apparently there was an issue with like their Forma planners, and there was a misprint where in all the calendars they missed a number. I don't know if it was the calendars or the days, like the weeks, but they missed a number. So it'll be like 25, 26, 28, 29, but they missed 27 in all of them. So obviously that's a misprint, need to be reprinted. If anyone ordered it, they probably got to send it back, you know, stuff like that. So I think people are having frustration with that in particular. Quite a few things are misprinted with CP recently. Quality control has been an issue with things in my boxes. However, these companies want the high demand for their products but can't keep up with it. Shipping is slower, customer service is slower due to influx, communication is all over the place, products out of stock for a very long time, and the message we get is we are still a small team, thanks for your patience. IDK, I just see a shift. And as far as for making posts about issues on Reddit, I don't get why it's a problem. I like seeing people other points of views because to me it seems like there's mostly a curated group of people who praise them. And that's why it seems like they're a perfect company. I love CP as well, but I'm also very honest. I don't love everything. As for the 5 Lux bucks, or box maybe, maybe they meant box, I don't know. That's a slap in the face because it's not worth anything. Whoa, LOL. So yeah, I've heard that before too. This is crazy. I feel like almost deja vu again. But with the holiday sub boxes or whatever that people was telling me about, they were having issues there. They were expressing their issues, but posts were getting deleted and locked and people couldn't really comment on it. So, you know, a lot of people are unclear, well, where do we put our grievances? You know, because it's not necessarily like we need customer service. We just want to express how we feel regarding the products. And usually Reddit is a place where you can have a forum and express how you feel and everything. Now, I don't know if this is the official cloth and paper business Reddit page. It could be. I don't feel like looking into it. But regardless, if it is, it definitely should be stated that maybe you can't do it here. Maybe other people can make their own Reddit community groups. Who knows? CP self-identifies as a luxe brand as they don't really feel the need to intentionally communicate with the base. Just look at this. The box communication changed. The weird, confusing communications when new drops. It's as if you need to ask, you can't afford it. I'm not going to comment on cause or motivation, but some small businesses reject criticism and proceed in denial, while frontline CS is great customer service. Philosophy is lacking. The proper thing to do in the former case is to offer a choice, a right product, or refund, no questions asked. This company is depending on the codependence of its customers just to buy something else. How do they self-identify when they've been recognized on GMA and Forbes? Ooh, they got downvotes too, y'all. Why did they get downvotes? And OP said, and? Yeah, I agree. The former incident, in my opinion, has been handled poorly. As soon the misprint was brought to their attention, I believe the customers who purchased the item should have been contacted and options presented to resolve. As far as the post being removed, it definitely comes across as censorship and also allows them not to be consistent in their approach to rectify the situation. Case in point, I sent pictures. Since I purchased both Pocket Plus and A5 Slim, I was offered 5 Lux Bucks for each. Oh, so Lux Bucks is a thing. It must be like their kind of currency money. Okay, got it. I thought it was a mistype, but Lux Bucks must be like, okay. Wow. I was offered 5 Lux Bucks for each or to return for a full refund. Them offering Lux Bucks instead of an actual refund or potential to receive a corrected notebook in the future is definitely making me feel uneasy. Thank you for sparking this discussion because it had been on my spirit. I bought the formal bundle on TikTok and returned it immediately once I saw the mistake. My OCD could never. I actually debated sharing it myself here, but hesitated because I was afraid the conversation would get censored. Shout out to the person who pulled the trigger before I did. I can't believe CP deleted their post. The person did nothing wrong, and I hope they still feel valued. What's really surprising to me is that the misprint still hasn't been addressed more broadly. Mistakes happen. Honestly, this could have turned into a very human moment about imperfection, flaws, and accountability. I would have respected that. I love CP bad, but trust starts to erode when it feels like customers are being silenced and the issue is being quietly swept under the rug. I appreciate this discussion because it's important context for all of us to have. Most posts are fun and lighthearted, so I don't really understand the policing when people are raising legitimate concerns that impact the community. At the end of the day, people are here because we genuinely care about CP, not just with our dollars, but with our visibility and word of mouth we bring to the brand. So I think it's fair to ask if this is a brand fan page or a customer-centered community. It would be helpful to know so people could decide how/if they want to engage. You know, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, if this page is supposed to be curated for marketing for the brand or something, maybe say that, or, you know, set it up in the settings that way so it's like that. But, you know, with a place like Reddit, a lot of people do express their opinions, whether good or bad. And there's always going to be some kind of discussion or something sparking behind what you put online. So, yeah, that's a good question. That kind of has me wondering, too, you know what I'm saying? If they're deleting posts that seem pretty, you know, negative, but legitimate. You know what I'm saying? It's not like these people were shitting on your company. You know what I'm saying? I can see if people were just straight up trolling, shitting on your company. But if people are raising legit concerns over something that, you know, the company has done incorrectly, you know what I'm saying? Then I don't see why we have to get rid of these and not address it. Now, mind you, the last kind of video I did on this brand, a lot of people had issues with confusion on, you know, do you guys advertise on Instagram? Do you guys advertise on email? Do you guys advertise on Reddit? Like, they were just confused at the organization of the marketing of this company. You know what I'm saying? So I don't keep up with it enough to know or care. Exactly this. I love CP2, which is why the lack of transparency feels so conflicting. Mistakes happen, but deleting or discouraging discussion makes the situation feel bigger than the original issue. A fan community should be able to hold space for both admiration and valid concerns. And if that's not the kind of space they want this to be, then honestly, I respect it more if the rules clearly stated that critique of CP isn't allowed, rather than appearing receptive and then removing all trace of conversation after the dust settles. Yeah, I was saying that earlier. Like, maybe we gotta better establish what this group is for, because I keep running into issues and hearing issues from other people about this group and them deleting and invalidating, you know, possibly invalidating people's concerns regarding the products. Not defamation, not shitting on the company. It's just, it seemed like valid concerns, right? Now, I did scroll through the Reddit because, you know, it's a whole bunch of comments. You know, I'm not going to sit here and read all these comments. But I did scroll through, and apparently there are a couple of other pages where people can put their Reddit opinions. But it was also, you know, expressed that that page was deleted. They suspect that it's someone from, you know, the cloth and paper that's reporting it and getting the page deleted. But then someone else right under that said there is another page. Didn't go look for the page or anything like that. But, you know, maybe that's something to look into if we can't, you know, vent about our concerns here. Like they said, it's not customer related. Like, I need to get my order number and this and that. So, you know, why not? All right, y'all know as usual for the planner teas to let me know down below what your thoughts are and what your experience is. Because like I said, I don't be knowing when it comes to cloth and paper. People just send it my way. So I'm always interested in what my Zoidies have to say because I know you guys shop them. So let me know down below what's your experience with this. Did you guys even know about this? And I don't know, what do you think they should do to rectify this? Because this ain't right. Everyone really loves the company, clearly. Everyone likes the company. And, you know, obviously they want to keep it that way. So that's why people are asking and trying to handle it with care. All right. Thanks for watching.